Welcome back. And today we are on a Sunday, 18th of September, 10:30 p.m. Singapore Asia time. And if you're watching from the US, that will be 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Welcome back. I'm really excited to see all of you here today. How's has your Sunday been and has it been productive? I'd like to hear from you. Today I'm really happy about my Sunday here. That's because let me just type in on the live chat first, and all of you can participate with me. All right. Oh my gosh. What's happened to my keyboard right now? Hang on a minute. Okay, my keyboard is not responding. But you guys can fire away. All right. So not too sure what's going on with my keyboard. Hang on a minute. Okay. So welcome back. So I want to share with you about my Sunday. While I attempt to get my keyboard to work work for me, my keyboard is not working well for me. Not too sure what happened. Okay, it's working right now. Okay, very good. Welcome. All right, let's see who's in the house, and then we're going to talk about how's our Sunday. Okay, so I pay my greetings to Henry, Adeline, Kelvin, Jeanette, Shane, Jeffrey, Christopher, Milton, Manfred, Dizu, Jan. Is that Jan from South Africa? Yen, Ryan, Aries, Hiram from New York, Tia, and Tia from Hong Kong, and Isabella, Chuman, Eltin, Ivan. Wow, we got a big group turning out today. And how's your Sunday? I'm really excited to know about your Sunday because I feel that my Sunday is very productive today. Let me share with you what I've done on my Sunday, and then I'd like to hear from all of you as well, kind of a chip in. Sunday is the most important day. Number one, I woke up very, very early this morning. In fact, I slept I slept late this morning, as in I slept, I think, about 3 a.m. in the morning. And, I was really excited to watch. I like to watch real life movies, true story movies, all right? And I want to share with you the movie I watched yesterday on Netflix. Forgot what's the name already. Okay, I can give you the context, and all of you can help me find what's the name of this movie. It's about softball, all right? Kind of really in baseball. Sorry, the word is called baseball. Kind of really inspired because when I was at Boston, I went to the stadium to watch a real baseball match. All right, so after that, I started to read up more about the rules of the game, and then I chanced upon this very beautiful movie here. All right, wow. Hang on, how to make it stop? And I want to play in front of you, and okay. Hang on a minute, I kind of messed up on the sound system right now. What is the name of this movie? Let's check it out. It is called 42, the true story of a sports legend. Numeral 42, true story of a sports legend. All right. So 3 things that you can take away from this movie. Number one, it's the first time a black has been invited to play with the whites on the same team. And of course, the story is surrounding about racism, and all the whites kind of trying to run this black guy down, but the black guy hold on to his fort, and with the belief of the owner and with the belief of his teammates, he start to find his pace. And of course, the final part of the movie, not to give away, of course, is an underdog overcoming the odds and becoming a great hero. I really love to watch this kind of movies, and kind of inspired me against all odds. And from this movie, I slept about 3 a.m. in the morning, and then I woke up about 9 a.m. I slept about 6 hours. All right. So 6 hours. First thing, woke up, and was thunder, lightning, and rain. There was a big a shower today. And then I rushed to the church and kind of getting ready because I'm in charge of the AV, making sure We are able to stream YouTube live, and the team is all ready. So I really enjoyed my duty today in the church. And one message from the pastor is really, really good about every one of us, playing our part to be faithful in our works. And the faithfulness boils down to this. Are you doing for men or are you doing for God? Now, if you are doing for men, typically the natural response is you want to seek praise, you want to seek recognition, you want to seek certain standing in the church and all that, right? So those kind of people who seek for self-motivated reasons, they cannot last long in a non-profit service. They'll just break down. They'll break down in many ways. They get angry. They start to create hell for their teammates. And I challenge all of you, if you want to really test the spirit of giving, is to put yourself in a non-profit environment. Really, you can be volunteering. I give you a few suggestions. You can volunteer not just in your church. You can be volunteering in your mosque, in your temple, in a synagogue, in a place of worship that is surrounding about your religion and your faith. Or you can put yourself in a non-profit organization like, I was serving in prison fellowship. I go to prison every week as a prison counselor in the past. Or you can work for old folks home, where, I have Christian brothers who serve in the old folks home. Just every week, just go there, talk to the old folks there and clean up the place. So there are many areas that you can serve. The challenge is this. Is it a one-time service or a long duration service or a project basis? All right. So I typically put them into three buckets. And I ask myself, at this season of my life, my calling is to go into which pot? Is it a one-time service, a project basis, or a long duration service? All right. So your kind of long duration means you are kind of plugged in the calendar. People schedule you. They lock down your date and your time, and you cannot escape. All right. So why am I talking about this topic is because the heart of a servant is severely tested when you put yourself in a non-profit environment where there's no money to be made, no recognition, no social standing and all that. Nothing. Put yourself in the environment, nothing at all. And you're just there to solve problems. I call it the firefighting moment. You're there to fight fire, all right? Now, how do you know you can sustain this journey is very simple. Are you able to do it consistently over a long duration of time? And you didn't crack, didn't break down, you didn't succumb to anger, jealousy, envy, and all that kind of what we call the 7 U's. Then you are truly doing for God and not for man. Typically, when you start to serve man, over a duration of time, you will give up. Because man always fail, but God never fail. All right, so sorry about a little bit of preaching, but regardless of what faith you belong to, I think these are real core values that we need to subscribe to. It doesn't change, and I hope we cultivate a generation of traders and investors with the correct core values, and that's my innermost hope and prayer. All right. So how's your Sunday? I'm really keen to know how's your Sunday. All you need to do is to type in one word or two words, whatever that activity you got involved, whether you played basketball, watch a movie, went to have a great food and not went to have a great food. Just type in your one word on the live chat. I'd like to hear from you. How's your Sunday? Woohoo! Wow! Christopher, blessed and quiet, and Isabella, recuperate. Isabella got too many activities. Jeanette, great Sunday. Was serving in church earlier. Oh, that's good to hear from you, Jeanette. That's good. Born with church friends, we all serve the. Oh yes, that's the beauty of it. Uh, Shane is rain and cooling day. Who else? Yon figuring how much taxes I need to pay on my cryptocurrency. Seriously, you need to do that. Kelvin, area cleaning. Yep, that's another one of the topics here. Good. Wow, Yen is so fit. 10K run. And Christopher resolving sibling differences online. Spring cleaning for Eltin. And Milton busy with don't know what. Ronnie eat and sleep. Hiram is a cleanup Sunday. Yeah. Typically Sunday is cleanup. Bokyu went outing, and Andy is a hot day and hard labor in my durian orchard. Oh, your area is not raining. In Singapore, we are raining everywhere. That's good. And durian plantation is filled with lots of mosquitoes. Manfred attended service. Ryan, amazing, blessed. And Aries attended mass. Thank you very much, all of you, for sharing. And I hope your Sunday give you lots of energy to kickstart for the week. Now, before I started this live streaming. I was writing a very long email. The email took me maybe about 3 hours. A lot of things to think through, and that's something kind of a preparing spiking journey for this year, 2022. We are at a critical juncture right now, going to some serious deals, and I hope I don't do make silly decisions, and I pray really, really hard God will give me the peace and the wisdom to make the right decision. So with that in mind, I'm going to start off with today's teaching. And, I found a very, very powerful article. Again, the challenge to all of us is show me your most important article of the day. And then we need to dive in really, really deep to understand, hey, can we learn something from it or not? All right. So let me give you the context how I led myself to this article. And then it's very much easier for you all to understand. So the question I frame for myself is this. We are talking about, the upcoming interest rate hikes by FOMC on this Wednesday. But really on the ground, what is the real percentage that we are really talking about? What is the real percentage that we are really, really talking about here, all right? So I wanted to have an answer to this. That means to say, to the ordinary man who borrowed money from the bank to pay off their home mortgage, what is the real interest rate that they are paying off at this moment before Wednesday's hike? And I went through a simple search, and I want to challenge all of you to do the same search with me, because we are studying the US market. And I go to Warren Buffett's company, Bank of America, right? And I just search for mortgage rates. Bank of America mortgage rates. And by default, it will just it will land me on this page. And I see that, okay, the mortgage rate is kind of floating around here. This is currently the rate. And typically, if you look at a 30-year fixed mortgage payment, you're paying about 6.375%. All right. Now, what's the meaning of 6.375%? Maybe you can round it down to 6%, because if we round it down, it's like 6.3, 6.1, 5.25, and maybe I just round down to 6%. All right. So I'm gonna put a big number right here. 6% is what we are talking about. And how does the 6% impact the ordinary man on the street? All right. So I'm really curious about this question, because it's going to help us to formulate a new word I'm going to teach all of you tonight, and that is called a terminal rate. Terminal rate. All right. So 6% is what the ordinary man is servicing their mortgage payment today, now, as in now, 6%, okay? Now, if you think about 6%, and then the article for today is this article from Bloomberg. Fed seen raising to 4% in 2022 and signaling higher for longer. Holy moly, what kind of language is that, all right? Economists' consensus is for a 75 basis point hike, which is this Wednesday. Rates seen staying at peak in 2023 as the Fed battles inflation. So if stays at the peak means if we go back to here, the rates here are not going to change. That's the meaning of a 6% servicing a mortgage loan payment today. Okay? So I hope you lock down the first point, and that's, I call it the 6%. I just round it down 6%. It's about 6.375, 6.125, depending whether you're 15, 20, 30 years loan payment, all right? And then we come back to the article here. This is really, really important. Holy moly. This is dated 16 September. And here we go. We're going to hit an interest rate reaching 4% by December. This is the Fed FOMC interest rate, not talking about the mortgage rate of 6%. All right. So if you think about that, currently right now we are already standing at 2.25%, if I'm not wrong. Let me pull out the correct number. And we're going to go through a few calculations, right? So just bear with me. If you get this right, it's very easy for the later part of this Wednesday. Because on Wednesday, we're going to go to the battlefield. I cannot be talking to you about the definition. Your mind must be very clear as we are out there in the battlefields fighting straight on, all right? So here we go. Today, without talking about this Wednesday, if you look at the highest part of the collective interest is 2.5%. All right? So I will do this very simple math. This is what I'm going to do. Just now we saw on Bank of America is 6%. I minus 2.5%. I take the higher end of the 2.25 to 2.5. I take the higher end 2.5. All right? And my answer is 3.5%. Meaning to say, what is the meaning of 3.5%? You add 3.5% to the FOMC interest rate hike to determine what the ordinary man is paying today for his mortgage payment. This is how we reverse engineer the number, all right? So remember, we started off with 6%. Here we go. And we say that what is the current FOMC collective interest rate? We take the higher tier end, 2.5%. We take the difference of these two, we arrive at 3.5%. So 3.5% must be on our mind so that we are ready to determine what the ordinary American will have to service for their mortgage loan payment. Okay? We take 3.5%, add on to the FOMC rate to determine the 6%. All right? So make sure you understand this is a game plan. All right? Now, once you understand this game plan, then it's easy to resonate with you. Remember, this Wednesday, there are three numbers we are looking at. 75 basis point means 0.75. 100 basis point means 1%. 125 basis point means 1.25%. Now, if I take the middle of the three guys, I take 1%, that it easily translates to the fact that on the Bank of America website, that 6% after Wednesday, if they hike by 100 basis points, will become 7%. Are you listening clearly right now? That ordinary man will have to pay 7% to service his mortgage payment. Is this high or low? All right? So I want you to really soak in this number and realize the consequences of an interest rate hike. Now, 7% is very, very painful. Let me tell you, it's like, we have a 7% general sales tax here in Singapore. It's like majority of your income, your salary, 7%, boom, gone. Because most of you or most of the people out there are servicing a form of mortgage payment. Now, this is going to be painful. And that's the reason why I say that this is the most important article we need to study on a Sunday night. Very heavy topic, but it is necessary for us to prepare for the upcoming Wednesday interest rate hike. All right. So right now, Dizu start to feel it already. Wow. Dizu is saying I cry, especially if more than one mortgage payment. Now these are for all the property players. You know, if you got involved in many properties, then you start to calculate, multiply times 2, times 3, times 4, and all the amount of mortgage, amount of interest rate that you have to service. That's mind-boggling, right? So I'm going to go through each paragraph and make sure we are very, very clear at the end of Sunday night, and that you can sleep very, very well in preparation for the Monday. Okay. So this is the exciting part. Here we go. Dang, dang. The FOMC will raise rates by 75 basis points for a third consecutive meeting when policymakers announce their decision at 2 p.m., the survey found. Now, it looks like Jerome Powell has been whispering to Wall Street Journal. And seems like right now Wall Street Journal is the chairman whisperer. And word on the street right now is no longer 75 basis point. Unfortunately, you trace back the articles by Wall Street Journal, they have moved up to 100 basis point. This is the latest after the inflation data was published on Tuesday. And this is really freaking everybody out. And that's why I took you guys through this route to understand on the grassroots level. 6% move up by 1, that means 7% per year. All right, so you can feel it straight away. Boom, you feel it. So we are not concluding that it's going to be 100 basis point. We are putting out a thesis that through the whisperer of Wall Street Journal, they are expecting 100 basis point, right? But I'm going to come to a most important terminology that we must master tonight, all right? Which is, I think, in the second paragraph here. Here we go. That will leave the target range for their policy benchmark to 3.25%. All right? How do they arrive this? Go back to here. All right? 2.25 plus 0.75, you hit 3. Right? And then you take 2.5 plus 0.75, that's 3.25. That's how you reach 3 to 3.25. We come back here, confirm and verify this number. Yes, confirm. It makes sense right now. All right, teacher, I'm connecting the dots. All right, so this is how you really internalize the number. You don't have to memorize anything, right? You just get it, all right? Now, Fed forecasts released at the meetings are expected to show the upper bound of the range at 4% by year end. So remember just now the upper range? We are talking about this upper range. If they want to hit 4% on upper range, that means there's another 1.5% more to go. But if on Wednesday, of the 1.5% more to go, if on Wednesday they hike it by 1%, and straight away you hit 3.5%, and you got 2 more windows left for this year, that's November and December. And that 2 more windows left, it will easily break above 4%, because that 2 more windows left, and you got 0.5% more to hit 4%, holy moly, we're going to break 4%, which is what everybody is expecting to be the terminal rate. So this is the point in time I'm going to bring in our definition of terminal rate, all right? And they call it the upper bound of the range at 4% by year end and edging higher next year before cuts in 2024, take it back to 3.6%. Now, let me type it out so that we're going to learn this together. Terminal rate, 4%. Terminal rate is defined as the highest rate. Once we touch 4%, everybody expects the Fed chairman to start slashing interest rate. But if it goes above the terminal rate of 4%, all hell breaks loose. Everybody is not able to calculate beyond 4%. Bill Ackman calculated it must hit below 4% and then the rates must start to drop. But from this Bloomberg article, look at the way they write it, and then you have to go and read the Wall Street Journal article. Everybody is pointing above 4% terminal rate. So this is bad news. All right? Because how do you know it's a bad news? You translate to the ordinary man who has to service a 7% mortgage payment. Holy moly, the head is really spinning. All right. Meaning to say, right now we are already at how many? 2.5% on the higher end. You add another 1%, 3.5%. And let's say if it's go all the way to 4.5%, from 3.5%, go all the way to 4.5%, that's 8% interest per year. Are you with me right now or not? It's no longer about 6% as what is shown on the Bank of America website. It's going to hit 8%, mama. All right. I don't want to scare you. I don't want to be your nightmare for a Sunday night. Calm down. Once you hit, bam, you got this impact, then we start to release the adrenaline, all right? Hang on in there. So we're going to tackle this paragraph. Oops. Such a shift represents a big step up from Fed forecast in June, reflecting a tougher fight against inflation after August core consumer price growth came in hotter than expected. And that's this Tuesday, the last Tuesday announcement of the 8.3%. The survey of 45 economists was conducted September 9 to 14. Front-loading rate hikes. I call it front-running. Now, depends on what language you want to use. It's the same, all right? Economists see 75 basis point hike, half-point move in November. Not too sure about that. Because if it's 75 basis point in this Wednesday, we have already hit 2.25 plus 0.75, we hit 3%, all right? And idealistic, they're praying really hard. November, 0.5%, and December, 0.5%, we'll hit the terminal rate at 4%, right? My suspicion is we're going to go above the terminal rate of 4%. And I don't think we're going to have a drop of interest rate, all right? Let me give you the window of 2023. I think this is appropriate right now. And I want you all to kind of preempt the window. Each year, there are only 8 windows open to the FOMC to announce interest rate hikes, all right? So this is a tradition. So let me show you the 2023 window. Here we go. I think it's the same repeat of 2022, but nonetheless, let me show you right now. Check this out. So, there's a slight change. January, Feb. This is the very weird date, 31st of January, crossover to 1st of Feb, all right? And this is right after Chinese New Year. That means this date is a do or die moment for us. Then you have a break. Then you crawl into March, skip April, go into May, then consecutive June, July. Wow, oh my gosh, this May, June, July, you cannot rest, right? Then August, take a break. Then you come back to August, take a break. Then you come to September and October. Again, this is a very weird month here where you cross over October and November and then December, right? So, woohoo! Jan, Feb, 31st and 1st Feb, we are crossover after Chinese New Year. All right, let me think about it. Okay, we're going to connect some dots on that, but not tonight. It's going to be too heavy for you guys. Let's finish this one, all right? Here we go. I got some ideas already about Chinese New Year and an FOMC interest rate. Jerome Powell has said that the Fed is strongly committed to getting inflation back to the central bank 2%. We are so far away from 2%. Right now, we are 8.3%. And won't stop its fight prematurely in the face of weaker economic data. The case for more aggressive action has been solidified by Tuesday's Consumer Price Index report, which showed measures of underlying inflation rising more than expected. And then we come down to this part here, and this one is the one we need to know what the Bloomberg Economics says. The dot plot will show a higher terminal rate in 2023. This is bad news. We are kind of fixated with 4%. If they're going to go higher than that, it's bad. We think it'll go up to around 4.2%. Compared with a 3.8 in the June Sept. Also, the decline in 2024 in rates won't be as steep as in the June Sept. It might show a decrease to around 3.8 to 4%. That means to say it will hover around the terminal rate of 4%. And only one thing can solve this problem. There's only one thing. We need to have a steep drop of the inflation data. All right? So let's finish off this article. This is getting sleepless already. This one we can skip, and ding, 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 and then we come down to here. This, I think, is a really good chart, right? Kind of give us the target. And the target is plotted on this 2% rate right here, this vertical line, right? And just kind of plot this vertical line. And hopefully this is what Fed Chair wants to do. Core inflation, PC inflation, look at the orange, longer term, it's to bring to 2%, but we are so far away from it. And if you look at 2024, mama, we are still above 2%. So we have a danger zone. 2025, then is the year it will restore. But let me tell you, the moment it touches 2025, it doesn't make sense anymore because we have a new president. All right, so no one can analyze beyond November 2024. It's utter rubbish if they say they can, because there's going to be a change of president. All right, so policies will change and will be very, very dramatic. So let's come down right over here. I think we covered the heavy stuff already, and let's finish this up. All right, mortgage back. That one we don't have to cover. And recession chart. All right. What is talking about recession? 19% soft landing, 33% hard landing, 49% is on a recession. All right. So this kind of amplified our FedEx, Federal Express, Subramaniam, who proclaim that the world is in a recession, right? So let him say whatever he wants to say, and then we go down and we are done, all right? So economists were mixed about the outlook, with 49% seeing a recession as likely in the next 2 years, 33% more seeing more time with zero or negative growth likely, and the rest looking for the Fed to achieve a soft landing. So recession in the next 2 years, but not what the FedEx boss is talking about. He's saying the world is in a recession now. That's crazy, right? So we are done on this article. How's everybody's Sunday evening? How's your Sunday evening? All right. Let me put this out, and I want to hear your feedback after going through this class. Very, very tough class to go through. How's your Sunday evening? I want to hear your reply. Woohoo! No one responding. Kind of sad. There's always a delay, right? Heavy info, sir, but gaining wisdom. That's good, Jay. The rest is sunken already, is it? Where's everybody? Holy moly, only one student responding. Oh my gosh, too heavy for you guys. It started to come in. Adeline, good prep for next week. Benjamin, all good, waiting to take off from Portugal back to UK. Oh, Benjamin is on a tour right now. Safe trip. And Hiram, too much to process. Kevin cannot sleep already. Ryan can be scary cause of car loan. All right, car loan, okay? Now, car loan is the easiest. Just sell off the car. Car loan is the easiest to tackle, unlike property loan, all right? Property is not when you want to sell, you can find a buyer. Car, you can just write off the depreciation, all right? Yawn is just as good as my Saturday evening last night. And Dizu enlightening as always. Jeffrey preparing for challenging week ahead. Okay, so thank you all for for your feedback. And we say in times like this, how do we go about finding the opportunity? All right. I'm going to go back to what we did yesterday. And for those of you who missed yesterday's video, I think yesterday's one is really fantastic. I already fire off one trade from yesterday's video. And I'm going to take yesterday's video. I'm going to fire off a second trade tonight. All right. And again, this firing of this trade is back on the thesis of what we learned tonight about the terminal rate that's going to break above 4%. There's some consequences to that. And really, this is going to be really, really tough because I want to show you this article. Recap again. I keep reading this article many, many times, all right? And I think it's so important to recap what Bill Ackman said about this particular article, right? And let me try to find it, the correct one. The last time around in my class, I kind of missed it. Again, hopefully I can find it, all right? All right. I think this is what I wanted to communicate. Not the best. I know the correct article is on CNBC, but let's make do with it, all right? Bill Ackman says that stocks will soon be a buy now that the Fed is doing what it has to do to fight inflation, right? Dated 6th of September. And then you see that magical number. Boom. This is the number that kind of contradicts what we've gone through today. All right? Asked where he sees inflation 12 months from now, Ackman replied that he expects price pressures will come down a lot, falling to 4%, if not 3.5% from a peak of 9.1%. Okay, this one is talking about inflation. I'm trying to find the number for interest rate, all right? Yeah, I don't think this is the correct article. Sorry, this is not the correct article. There's one article that he specifically mentioned about interest rate hikes, all right? So this is the challenge, how to find an article right now. I think this is the one. I think this is the one. Okay, good. All right, I found it. Come, let me show you guys. Okay? So take this as the kind of the lead indicator for us. Bill Ackman says his firm is holding on to his stock picks as it anticipates Fed rate hikes, cutting inflation to more than half current levels, all right? So this is the one. He expects the Fed to keep rates around 4% range to tamp down inflation. This is the terminal rate that we are talking about tonight, all right? So anything that goes above the terminal rate, look at this paragraph. I think what they have said they have to do, which is raise rates to something in order of 4% or maybe a little bit more short rates to keep them there for a reasonably extended period of time, a year or so, and then hopefully inflation starts to fall off. This is the one, right? And this is the one that kind of, the moment it break above the terminal rate 4%, the ordinary man will be suffering. And if it prolongs throughout 2023, holy moly, it's going to be very, very painful, right? So keep that in mind. And I'm going to revisit what we gone through yesterday. We covered quite a number of stocks yesterday, right? It's the one that will really do really, really well with a high interest rates environment. I will be firing off the stock tonight. And I think I kind of thought through it, and really, really beautiful stuff for that. And I hope you guys will join me in firing off the trade tonight before tomorrow starts the busy week, all right? And typically in the weekend is the best time to fire off the trade, where we got no noises coming from CNBC, everybody just resting, and that's the best time you can really focus and think through thoughtfully what you should play for the week. So between Mondays all the way to Sundays, my best trades when I fire away is on a Saturday and Sunday. Quiet, no one disturb me. There's no news coming in from CNBC, and I'm just able to analyze much, much deeper. All right. But from Mondays to Fridays onwards, oh my gosh, there's a lot of noise and just so many activities. But that's the fun of investing. I hope you guys enjoyed tonight's sharing, and don't be too depressed. We're going to be together with all of you in this journey. All right. And that's the most fun part of it, going through this journey together and learning together. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. And I look forward to seeing you guys again tomorrow. Have a great Sunday. May God bless you. Goodbye, everybody.